Welcome to DevOps Projects Live Implementation Project Job Searching Portal. It's a cloud deployment using Sonar and virtual machine. A moderate scalable job searching portal application on Azure. Okay. Tools we are going to use is Sonar and virtual machine. And tech stack is for front end we are using React.js. For backend we are using Express.js. Okay, both are JavaScript only. So we'll use a Terraform for infra automation, and we will use Azure DevOps. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is the seventh part of our DevOps products live implementation series. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, let's see the overview. Overview. Job title, job searching portal. Okay, so this product provides a simple and web-based job portal where users can search the skill and apply the jobs. Okay, so we have the portal, where users can open this portal. They will need to enter the skills and they click apply. It will open a separate website where we can apply directly to that company. Okay, and also we have a multiple filters based upon that one. You can click that one. Salary range. Oh, I clicked this one. So I filtered this one. Okay. So up to 50,000 it will be having the specific role only, specific company only. Okay, like this we can you can make a filtrations. Okay. Yeah. So main goal of this project is so how to build, how to test, and how to deploy this application in Azure using Terraform and Azure DevOps. Okay. Main agenda of this project is you need to deploy your application. You need to integrate it with Sonar, and how you need to test that code, and you need to deploy your application to the servers. Okay. So we need to install the SonarQube. We need to create a project. We need to integrate with Azure DevOps pipelines. Okay, so that you can able to check the code quality. Okay, this is the standard process you need to follow. Okay, so main goal of this project is how to integrate your application with the Sonar and how to deploy in the missions. We have three servers. We have dev server, QA server, and prod server. Okay. Okay, let's see. So Azure Service and DevOps tools use. Okay, key highlights. We have front end. So it is a use Azure Services and DevOps tools we are going to use. Okay, key features. Okay, let's see. We will use the front end. So it will be developing using React.js. Okay, where user it is a user-friendly interface for job seekers. Okay, so they will can apply the job post. Okay, so we have backend where all the we need to update all the job details in the backend itself. Okay, it is developed using Express.js. Okay, so this is a React.js, this is a Express.js. Both are related to JavaScript only. Okay, we will know how to create this application, how to deploy. Okay, so after that we have SonarQube. Okay, this is a code quality and security features tool. Okay, so where we can integrate our code with our Azure pipelines, and we can know the code quality of the this specific code. Okay, so we need to open SonarQube. So we already created a some job name, and here you can able to see all the things. Okay, overall code. You can check the security, you can check the reliability, maintenance, and accepted issues, code coverage, and duplications, and security hotspots. Okay, like this you need to see. Okay, you can see the issues here. You have so many restrictions. Okay, so you need to, in order to achieve this complete SonarQube, so you need to pass the code quality thermometers. Here we have uh, multiple features where number one is you need to pass the code quality. Okay, so code quality check gates, you need to pass the some parameters. Okay, so this is the prior overview. Okay, all the things you can review here. Activity, issues, will go to issues. You need to fix these issues. Software quality. Okay, severity, clean, these all things you need to fix. Okay, So that's about SonarQube. Okay. So virtual machines. Okay, we need to deploy this front-end and back-end application in virtual machines. Okay, we need to create a three virtual machines, and we need to deploy our application in three. Okay, so we will build and we will test the code with the SonarQube. After that, we will deploy using deploy pipeline to the corresponding servers. Okay, for this purpose, you need to make a SSH service connection, and then you need to deploy. Okay, yeah. So VNets. So we will use a VNet to secure the connections. Okay, Azure pipeline. We will use Azure repositories and Azure pipelines. It will be triggering. Okay. So Terraform, it will provision the Azure infrastructure. Okay, all the infrastructure will be deploying using Infra pipeline. So for that we have a Terraform task that will be integrating with the help of a service connection and service principal. Okay. So we have SonarQube. Even SonarQube also we need to establish a service connection. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So what you will be achieve at the end of this course. Okay. So first of all, you can able to know how to develop and how to deploy front end and back end application on virtual machines. Okay, we have React JS application, we have React Express JS application. Okay, you can able to develop and you can able to deploy this application on virtual machine. Okay, so three. So you can able to write the Terraform script that will provision your Azure infra services. Okay. After that, you need to set up the SonarQube, and you need to do the one-time setup for your front-end and backend application. Okay, that you will able to learn. Okay, after that, you need to establish a connection between front-end and backend. Okay, that is the part of integration. Okay, so with this, you can build a Azure pipeline for CI/CD automation and infra and cleanup. You can able to create the all pipelines. Okay, you can deploy your application. Okay, with this you can learn a real-time DevOps project for their portfolio. Okay, let's see the architecture of this application. So let me introduce about myself. I am Prasanna Kumar. I have overall 15 years of experience in IT industry. So I have worked on different kind of DevOps roles. So currently I'm working on one of the topmost MNC company, and I have working experience in different kind of projects like banking, automobile, and travel and transport, medical care, and telecom on big four companies. Okay, UTC. So I have multiple certifications: AWS DevOps certification and Azure DevOps certification, and basic certifications like Azure fundamentals and AWS fundamentals, and UTC I have. Two, architecture and tech stack walkthrough. Here you can see the architecture of this project. So this is the architecture. So if you are not able to see, I can open in a separate photo. Okay. So here you can see, you can able to see multiple components. This is the first component, this is the second component, this is the third component. You can split into three parts. This is Azure DevOps part, this is a Sonar part, and this is a Azure Infra part. Okay. So let's see. So developer will write the code. Once the code is ready, you will push to the Azure repository. Okay. And we have Azure pipelines. So when a change is detected in Azure repository, pipelines will be detecting. Okay. We have infra pipeline. So with the help of infra pipeline, so it will take the connection help, and it will be provision all your resources with the help of a Terraform task. Okay. So you have multiple, here you can see you need to create a multiple resources. So this is the virtual machine. Okay, we have public subnet, and we have vnet. So we have resource group. Okay, this is the dev server, this is the qa server, and this is the prod server. So you need to create a terraform code separately. We need to create a terraform code separate environment for each. Okay, so once the infra pipeline is provisioned, you need to verify. Okay. After that, you need to create a SonarQube. Okay. If you want to create with the help of a Terraform, you can able to create one more, or else you can create manually. Okay. So I will help you how to download and how to install the SonarQube setup. Okay, once the setup is completed, you need to we have a pipelines, we have a CI pipeline and we have a CD pipeline. So with the help of a CI, we can able to build your application. Okay, so the CI pipeline will be integrated with SonarQube. So yeah, we have integrated SonarQube project. Okay, like this you can able to see. Okay, so here you can able to see all the parameters of your SonarQube project. Okay, now the product quality gate is failed. Okay, we not passed the our threshold parameters, we didn't pass. Okay, at least 80% you need to cover, you need to fix. Okay, it is failed. So the build pipeline will be integrated with SonarQube. Okay, so once the CI pipeline is completed, so the CI pipeline will be generating artifacts. Okay, so once the CI pipeline is completed, so CD pipeline will be triggered automatically once the CI is completed. So it will download the artifacts from the CI pipeline and it will publish to the corresponding server. Okay. So for this purpose, you need to establish the service connections. We have Dev server service connection, that is SSH server connection, not a normal service connection. SSH service connection you need to establish. Once the service connection is established, that artifacts will be downloaded and it will be uploaded to the uh, corresponding server, and the application will be restarted. Okay, like this. So once the server is up and running, so we can able to we will get a public IP that can we can able to access. Okay, so these public IPs we can configure based upon organization DNS name. Okay, so www.google.com is the prod name. So www.google/dev.com is the dev one. So www.google-qa.com, that is the QA one. For prod, you can keep it www.google.com like this. Okay, you can split that DNS names. Okay, the so the pipeline I have set it is, so once the CI pipeline is completed, the same code will be first deployed in dev, then based upon our approval, so it will be deploying in a QA. Okay, after all we will get a, once the QA is completed, so when come to deploy in Infra, so it will ask whether you need to deploy or not. So it will be set as a manual, means like a permission. It will come as some permission. Okay, with the help of a Gmail. So once you will approve in the Gmail or in the notification section, so then the artifact will be deployed in the prod environment. Okay, this is the this is the whole architecture of this application. Okay, end to end. So let's see the workflow. Like this, your application will be working. Okay, the whole idea of this project is how to integrate your Sonar to CI and how to deploy it to multiple servers. Okay, let's see. So walkthrough. So I already told you the walkthrough. First, developer will commit the code. So he develop the code. So he will push to the, okay. This is a some development. Okay, where we need to remove Docker. We need to remove. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. No, it's fine. Okay. So developer will commit the changes for his front-end application. So he is having a React.js and Express.js. So once he develop, so he will commit the changes to the repository. Okay. So that is the first step. So later Sonar setup. We need to set up the Sonar with the help of a Terraform or UI. Okay. After that, we need to allow some network security group so that Sonar will be access to the public. Okay. So after that, you need to do front-end and back-end application configuration. That is the one-time setup. Once the infra is deployed, you need to do this configuration. That I will show you in the session. Okay. So after that, application deployment. So once the CA will be generating your application, we have a CD. Okay, that CD will be deploying based upon artifacts available in CD. So it will deploy in first in dev and after that QA. So we require a manual deployment for prod. Okay. So we'll get some permission. So it will be deploying. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Two, environmental setup. Okay, there is some prerequisite is there. So we need to procure the Azure subscription and you need to create a Azure DevOps organization. Once the organization is ready, you can able to create the project and you can able to create the repository and pipelines. Okay, so two. So local tool setup. You need to install the Node.js. You need to install the Visual Studio Code. You need to install the Git. Okay, these are the basic tools. Okay. So here Express.js is the part of Node.js. Okay. Yeah. So if you this Azure pipeline is a optional one. So if you want, you can create or you can use the or else you can use the Azure based pipeline only. Okay. So fourth, Azure Service Principal and Service Connection. This is the important step. So Azure Service Principal that will be get from I already shown in the project one onwards only. So you need to create Azure Service Principal and after that you need to make a authentication as a service connection. Okay, so that Azure portal and Azure DevOps will have a authentication to deploy your resources. Okay, so if you need to have any other authentications, you need to create separate service connection for each and every one. Okay, we have Sonar authentication, we have SSH Dev server authentication, we have Nexus authentication, and yeah, we have miscellaneous authentications. We already discussed in the we have okay, we have different kind of authentications that we will be seeing based upon PI. Okay, yeah, PI. So setting the PI repository and folder structure. Once you will get a Azure ADO, we need to create a project, and after that we need to create a repository, and after that we need to create a frontend and backend and IAC folders. Okay, this is the standard naming conversation you need to follow. Okay, so that you can all can able to understand. Okay, once you are done, you need to make a Terraform backend setup. Okay, this is the part of a Terraform ISC code. Okay, this process also already explained in the from part one also part one where you have some script that will be executed. So we'll get outputs that will be saved in your ISC backend code. Okay, this is the just a key values only. Okay, let's see. Three, front-end and back-end development. Okay. So since we don't have DB, okay, you can remove that one. Yeah. Once you once our repository is ready, we need to clone to our local machine. After that, we need to create a front-end development. We need to pass this command so that the standard folder directory will be created for front-end. Okay. So once the front-end is created, I will show you how to create. I will show you how my front-end. Okay. So this is the API.js. Okay. Okay. This is the app.js. This is the main file. I already explained you. Okay. This is the code related to front-end application. Okay. This information is all about static information. You can change next onwards. You can change anything, and if you are interested, you can extend this one. We have multiple type of uh, flavors in React.js. We have Vita flavor we have vanilla flavor okay, like this we have multiple flavors. You can add and you can try something. You can develop your own application. You can take a help of AIs, whatever it is. You can develop your own application. Okay, this is the front end one. Okay, come to backend. Okay, so backend also we need to install the same pattern. But so once you have created once npm install, you need to install express.js. Okay, so in first you can install npm install, right? Okay, here you need to pass this one npm install express. Okay, after passing this command, so this application will folder structure is different one. So it will having a react server.js only. Okay, package.js. Okay, yeah. So to run the application, you just pass node server.js. okay, in locally, but it will be different in virtual production server. It is different. In locally, you can pass the node server.js. Okay, these all will be created default only. Okay, just ignore. Just remember server.js and package.js. Okay, these two are important. So like this, you need to develop the backend application. Okay, nothing but so create a backend folder. After that, npm install express. Okay, you can pass this one. So this will be creating this structure. Okay, yeah, this will create this one. That's it. After that, you can pass node server.js. Okay, that's the standard follow. Okay, so till now front end and back end is completed. Okay, so in the locally it will be both will be communicating easily with the help of a React API. In the front end we have React API, right? See, this is the API slash API. Localhost slash API or slash API, both are same. You can based upon your convenience you can use. Okay, now the front end and back end is completed. Now come to Sonar setup and configurations. Okay, after that, so one time setup for Node.js, setup for front end and back end. Okay, let's see this step. Sonar setup and configuration. So, so I already told you, you can create a separate VM for your SonarQube, or else you can create with the help of Terraform, or you can be able to create manually also based upon your convenience. So already given the code, so code will be same for all. So if you are creating only single one, you can create. If you need to create double three, you can create a three environment. Dev QA prod. Okay. So you can kept only dev one. You can create with this server SonarQube VM. Okay. You can name that one. Okay. Once you created, you just open the port 9000. Okay. That is the default port for SonarQube. Okay. See. This is the Sonar. This is the default port. Okay, 9000. Yeah. So now once you created the virtual machine, so now go to I have given you some steps you need to follow. The steps are very simple. Yeah. So installing Java. Java is mandatory for any server. So I am not going to explain about Java. So after that, you just install the Sonar. So with the help of this command, you can download. Okay, or else you can go to SonarQube. You can click the Ubuntu. It will give some link. So with this command, it will be downloading in your machine. So once it is downloaded, you just unzip, and it will be after unzipping, you move that folder to a specific folder. Open slash SonarQube. Okay. So after that, you need to give some permissions. Okay, you create a separate user for SonarQube, and you need to give the full permissions for that user. Okay, so after creating, so you can start this application as a startup application. Okay, so you need to create this file, and you need to pass all these details. So that means, so this application will be started as a startup application. Okay, startup application service, it will be run as a one service. Okay, so where it will be picking this location and it will be starting. Okay, yeah, after that you need to reload your application. You need to start that application. I already told you this application will be run as a service. So now it is running as a service. So after that you need to start the application. So reloading, starting and enabling. Okay, after that you can check the status. So you can open your server, you can able to see. So basically it will be yeah, logo. Yeah, you can able to see now home page. It will you can able to see this like this. Okay. So for first time it will be like you need to change. You need to change the password. Hey, I forgot my own password. Okay. Yeah, now it is lagging, loading. So like this, you need to log in. Once first time you can log in, so you need to change the password. You need to update the password. After that, you try to log in again. Okay, now it is logging. So once the application is up and running, so this server will have this is a separate server. So these are separate servers. These are application server. This is the SonarQube server. Okay. So why it is taking long time. So after that, front end and back end one time setup. Okay. I'll tell you what are the setups you need to do. Wait for this one. Why it is new return to. You need to wait. Okay. So once it will open, I will tell you the features of SonarQube. Now move forward. Nginx setup for front-end and back-end Express.js setup. Okay. So come back to our architecture. So once SonarQube is ready, so after that we need to trigger the infra pipeline. So these will provision your all virtual machines, all your servers. This is the dev server, this is the QA server, this is the prod server. Okay. So once it will be provisioned, so I have given a startup script. So that will install all the required applications like Node.js, Java, uh, Nginx, unzip, wget, all basic packages will be installing with the help of a Terraform startup script, script. Okay, that also I have written in the IAC folder. That is written in a shell script. Okay, so once the Nginx application is installed, so I pass it to some content. Okay, so that will show you what is the server of the Node.js. Okay. So once the server is up and running, after passing infra pipeline, you need to trigger the CI pipeline that will be built and that will be integrated at SonarQube. And in SonarQube, you can able to check the code quality gates. Okay. So with the help of a manual CD pipelines, so these generated CI artifacts, it will be deployed to the your dev server with the help of a SSH service connection. Okay, that is the flow. Let's see. So Nginx setup for front-end and back-end setup for Express.js. Uh, what is happened? So since I installed in a two CPUs and capacity is very small one, so you need to increase this one. So since that this VM is already installed with the Nexus and the multiple servers it is installed, so that the application is very slow. Okay, let me log in this one. Yeah, so it is successfully login. So once it will log in, you can able to see all your projects here. So I have only one project. So this is that the status is failed status. Okay. So let's try to click that one. Yeah, it is failed. The last code it is failed. Overall code. This is the parameters we have. Okay. To fail. So new issues 139, duplication 14. Okay, code cover is not happened. Okay, this is the overall status of your code. Okay, so in generally code should be passed at least 70 80%. You need to pass the quality gate. Okay, so here you can have some quality gates. You can able to create a quality gates, and you can add the quality gate to quality profile. Okay, the quality profile you can add multiple parameters you can set. Okay, so that the code will be passed that parameters, it will show the percentage. Right now I didn't integrated any code quality and code profile. Okay, so that it will showing empty. Okay, that is all about Sonar. Once the Sonar is up and running, so now come to front end and back end one time setup. Okay, so one time setup is nothing but front end and back end. You need to run the application as a startup application. I will show you why. Because since you are deploying in a separate server, so the server will be try to deploy. After all, it will be uh, restart. Okay, reset. That means your data will be lost. So without losing your data, so we made some changes. The application should be start automatically without restarting. Okay, yeah, come here. So so our front-end application is need to be deployed in Nginx. Okay. So since this is a front-end is a React.js, this is a static data, you must deploy in Nginx. Okay. So once you have installed Nginx, so there will be a some file is there under this location. Okay. You need to open that location and you need to update this information. Okay. This is the default information only. So where we are just mentioning the your front end directory. Okay, this is the front end directory location. Okay, and we are routing the reverse proxy. This Nginx is a load balancer, right? So we are making it as a reverse proxy. Okay, slash APS is the backend where the application is running. Okay, Express Node.js is running at this specific port. Okay, so you can cross check this port in Express.js. Okay, this is the change you need to add, and you need to restart your application. Yeah, so where you reload an Nginx and you need to start that one. So once you completed this one-time setup, that is for backend. Okay. So this is for sorry, that is for front end. This is for backend. Once your application is ready, so you need to go to that directory and you need to pass this command. Okay. PM to start and server dot JSON and job name. You need to use the job name. Okay. This is the one-time activity. This is the application. PM2 is a small tool that will handle your Express.js application. Okay. So now both will be configured for your requirement. So it is completed. So once the infrastructure is ready, so the one-time setup you should be do for 3 servers. Okay, that is mandatory one. Okay. So once front end and back end one-time setup is completed, so you are done. So then you can do CI/CD. Okay, CI will be integrated with SonarQube. It will generating the artifact. So CD will be deploy the generated artifact to the corresponding server. Okay, server will be start up and running. Then you can able then you will have a public API. You can able to access that one. So this is a standard process. How many applications is deploying from dev to QA to prod. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's see the infrastructure. Let's see the infrastructure as a code, Terraform. Okay, so we need to provision all this Azure infrastructure using Terraform. Okay, so that will be achieved with the help of a infra pipeline. We will use the Terraform task. Okay, okay, let's see. Let's quick overview about this Terraform code. So first we will write the Terraform code for provisioning the Azure infra. Okay. So after that we will do project structure. We need to you need to set up the correct project structure. Okay. So that all the users can be able to understand. So that thing I will show you. So after that we need to configure the Terraform backend. Okay. This is the base step. This is the environmental setup. This is the part of environmental setup. Just I have already done in first part 1 onwards. Okay. So part 4, we need to get the Azure service principal and establish the service connection. Okay, we need to utilize in pipeline. Okay, that will I have already explained you. So we will deploy using Azure pipelines. Okay, we will use the infra pipeline. Okay, after that you need to verify all the deployed services. Okay, so let's see the code first. Okay, here we have. So go to IIS. This is the standard name we need to follow. So this is the dev, this is the plot, this is the QA. Okay. So we have main.tf and output.tf and provider.tf and variables.tf. Okay. So we have cloud init script. Okay. This is the initialization script where you can install all the pre-required packages. Okay. Like wget curl unzip git. Okay. After that Python, Node.js. Okay. After that nginx. So after once the install nginx, so it will do some configuration, and after that it will be up and running. Okay. Yes, that is the shell script. Okay, let's go to main.tf file. Okay, let's see. For naming conversation purpose, we are using these locals. So this is the standard path we are following from project 1. Okay. So this will create a resource group. Okay. So this will create a virtual machine, that is VNet. We will create a VNet. Okay. After that, this will create a subnet. Okay. So after that, this will create a public IP. Okay. This will create a static IP. Okay. So after that, this will create a network interface. Okay. So you have created a subnet, right? So that should be access to external world. Okay. You have created a public IP. So both should be accessed. So that purpose you need to require some interface. So this is the network NIC. Okay. You have created NIC, interface communication. Okay. So once all the things are ready, you can able to create a Linux virtual machine. Okay. This is the Linux virtual machine. Okay. So you need to give username and password. So password I have given the key values. So it will be taken from there. Okay. So this is the initialization script. Okay. Once the VM is created, so when it is started, so these all commands will be installing and the VM will be up and running. Okay. So this is the VM details. Okay. Ubuntu. We are using Ubuntu and version. Okay. Okay, you have created a network interfaces that will be attaching to VM, so that VM can able to access to public IP. Okay, so after that it will creating a OS disk. Okay, this should be used to store the data. Okay, so now we have created the all the things. Okay, so we need to after that we need to create a network security group, so that we need to state state from accessing from anywhere. Okay, so we have inbound rules and we have outbound rules. Okay, let's create the inbound rules and outbound rules. So let's see. So we are opening the inbound rule, that is 80 port. Okay, so after that we are opening port to 22, that is SSH port. Okay, so these two ports are we are opening. Okay, so that network security group is attached to subnet. Okay, so that means these specific allowed ports will be open for this specific subnet. So under that, in the subnet we already having VM. Okay, that means we can able to communicate with the port of 80 and 22 to external public IPs. Okay, that means you have created a subnet. So we have created VM and we have created a subnet. So we attached this subnet to the public IP, so that the public IP will be interacted with your mission, your server. Okay. Yeah. So whole idea of this one is to create a virtual machine in public IP, so that public can able to access. Okay. So once the public are able to access, they can communicate with the specific portal. Okay. So to achieve this one, so we have multiple environments. We have dev and we have QA and we have prod. So how to create? So you need to create a separate key values for dev, QA and prod. Okay, let's see dev. So these are the dev values. Okay, where you are passing application, project, environment, location, block code, and admin password. Okay. So these are the backend details. Okay. After that, prod. So we need to give the prod and environment should be changed to prod. Okay. So like vice versa for QA also. So we need to change the environmental for QA. Okay. So this is the code overview of Terraform. Okay. Next we need to see how to create the these infra pipelines and CI/CD pipelines and cleanup pipelines. Yeah. 5. CI/CD pipelines with Azure DevOps. So we will develop the Azure DevOps pipelines with the help of a YAML scripts only. Okay. So here we have four pipelines. So infra pipeline, CI pipeline, CD pipeline, and cleanup pipeline. Okay. Infra pipeline. These will provision your all Azure services. Okay. Using Terraform script. Okay. CI pipeline. These will build and publish the artifacts. Okay. So CD pipeline. These will deploy the artifacts to dev VM server. Okay. So cleanup pipeline. So these will delete all your resources with the help of a Terraform. Okay. Test state files. Let's let's implement one by one. Okay. First starts with infra pipeline. So go to infra pipeline. So let's review the infra pipeline. Yeah, here we go. So this is the standard process we are following from first day one onwards. Okay, step one. So this will install the Terraform CLI if it is not available. Okay, if it is available, it will throw the Terraform version. Okay. After that, we are following some. Here we have just added a two tasks only. Why? Because so this is included dev QA and prod. So the code will be very huge. So that I have minimized it with two stages only, two tasks only. Okay. This task two will containing the Terraform mini, Terraform validate, Terraform plan, Terraform apply. Okay. So this will be deploying your Azure resources. Okay. So it will taking the dev configurations, dev key values. Okay. In the queue, in the dev stage. So next come to QA stage. Okay. Once the dev stage is completed, now come to QA. So QA also we have two stages, two tasks. One is Terraform installation, another one is Terraform deploy. Okay, where Terraform initialized with the QA folder, QA backend.tf files. Okay, it having the Terraform init, Terraform validate, Terraform plan, and Terraform apply. Okay, it will take the QA tf vars. Okay, after that we will go to prod. Okay, this step will require a manual approval. Okay, so QA, so dev will be once the dev is completed, QA will be deployed automatically. But when the QA is successfully deployed, now come to prod. So prod will require a approval. Okay, so with the help of a environment, we have created a step. So we'll go to the prod and we'll just click the approve button so that it will be approved and it will be deploying. Okay, here also you are added two tasks. One is Terraform installation, another one is Terraform tasks. Okay, so like this, all your resources will be deployed. Okay, so we have infra pipeline. So we have separate stage for dev, and we have separate stage for QA, and we have separate stage for prod. Okay, which each will be isolated. Okay, only key values are same. Q values are different. Code is same for all three environments. Okay, okay. Let's see how to deploy. So once the infra pipeline is ready, so go to here, go to your pipelines. So just hit a refresh button. Sometimes it will be sometimes it will require some time to refresh. So what happened? So yeah, it is reloading. Yeah, here you can see one job is already running. This is build deploy. Okay, why deploy is still under under running state only. So you can see deploy to dev, deploy to QA. So dev is completed, QA deployment is completed. So it's waiting for prod. So I think I need to give the permission to deploy. Okay. So one approval needs your review before this run can continue to deploy. Okay, review. Okay, checking and manual validation for deploy to prod. Okay. Yeah. So approval. Waiting for approvals. Approval or rejected. So comment you are rejected. Rejected. Okay. Click reject. So why I'm rejecting the prod deployments, I will tell you later. Why? Because I didn't have prod VM. Okay. So I will tell you why it is failing. So why I don't have that prod 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 server. So let's come to infra. So as usual, you need to create this infra pipeline. Okay, click this one. As usual, you need to create the infra pipeline. So when I try to deploy, so yeah, click one. So Terraform deploy, click this one. So it is deploying a Terraform deployment to dev. So it is completed. It is completed. See, so no changes detected. So Terraform deployment is completed. Okay, all the actions are deployed. So now come to QA. So once the dev is completed, now come to QA. So this will be triggered automatically. So all resources are created successfully. Okay, it will create a resource group, public IP, VNet, secure network security group, and virtual Linux virtual machine. Okay, so this all will be created successfully. So now come to prod environments. Okay, when I try to deploy, so it is throwing error stating that you don't have a quota to create. So that means, so since I'm using a free tier, it is alerting some specific number of cores per region. Okay, I crossed that one, so it is not able to create. So in your case, you can able to create if you are started freshly, you didn't created any VMs, so it is you can able to create. Okay, for in my case it will won't create. Okay, so that's fine. So we have dev 1 qa we have I have. Okay, yeah. So once you created, all the resources will be creating. So dev server separate, qa server separate, and prod server separate. So let's go and re-verify. Yeah, this is my resource group. Job Hunt Portal, Dev Cus RG, Job Hunt Portal, Prod Cus RG, Job Hunt Portal, QA Cus RG. Okay. So I have three RGs. So Dev one QA is created successfully and Prod is also created partially. But only exemption is virtual machine is not created. Rest of the things are created. Let's see Dev first. So just to cross verify all the resources. Yeah. So all the resources are created successfully. Network interface, network security group, public IP, virtual vision disk, and VNets. Okay. See, I already told you. So it will be creating a virtual machine. It will create a subnet. It will create a VM. And it will create a public IP, and it will create a network security group. So that will allow to interact with the public internet and the SSH also. So for to integrating public IP to subnet, we will require a network interface. So that is also created. Okay. So all things are created. Okay. That data should be stored in Azure Desk. Okay. So all resources are created for dev. Now come to QA. So in the QA also you can cross check all the resources are created successfully. Okay. So now dev is completed, QA is completed. Now come to prod. I told you why prod is not able to deploy, right? So since I have limited resources to utilize, since this is a only this is a free tier account, so it will be having some restrictions. Okay, except what VM, rest of the all the things are created. Okay, I don't need all without VM. So I'm just leaving to deploy my application in prod. Okay, so okay, leave that one. So with that, we have completed the infra pipeline that will provision all dev 1, QA, and partial part of prod. Okay, okay. So till now we have completed the infra pipeline. So let's go to CI pipeline and CD pipeline. Okay, CI pipeline. This will build your application and generates the artifacts that will publish. Okay, so CD pipeline. So this will download the artifacts that will publish your CI pipeline, and it will deploy these artifacts to the dev server. Okay, let's see how this will be doing. Okay. Okay, first. So we have CI pipeline. So that is same build pipeline. So that will be building and generating the artifacts. Okay. So next come to CD pipeline. So this will download the generated CI artifacts and it will be connected to dev server and it will be deployed to the dev server. Okay. So let's see how it will be doing. So let's review the CI pipeline and CD pipeline. Go to build.yml. Okay. Okay, this is the pipeline. Okay, here. So we have two things. So it will be integrated to Sona and it will generate the artifacts. So two main steps it's involved. Okay, let's see each one. Okay. So this one, this pipeline will be triggered when a change is detected in frontend and backend. Okay. After that, so we need to pass the some variables, so which containing Sonar project key and Sonar host URL. Okay. So in the Sonar, you need to pass your credentials. Okay, Sonar credentials. Okay, that will be storing username, passwords. Okay. So these are the variables and this is the pool. Here is the stage. This is the quality stage. This is the build stage. Okay, we have two stages. So quality stage is nothing but so it will be integrated to Sonar. Okay, so it is a code quality stage. So where your application will be integrated with Sonar application. Okay, so step one. So this will be installing the Node.js. Step two. So this will install the required dependencies. Okay, so this will integrated your code to SonarQube. Okay. npm install. You need to pass this command Sonar scanner and you need to pass the project key, source, host, login, and code coverage reports. Okay. Like this, you need to integrate your code. Okay. So second stage, this is the build stage. So where it will be generating your artifacts. Okay. So the main important thing. So once the quality stage is completed, so this build stage will be triggering. So it having the main two tasks. First one is it will generating artifacts, CI/CD, and the both will be generating the artifacts, and it will be packing as a tar files. Okay, these are packing as a tar files. So publish build artifact. So these artifacts will be publishing now. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's go to deploy.yml, that is a CD pipeline. Okay, so let's see. So this is the code. So with the help of a CI pipeline, so we have done two things. So we integrated your code with SonarQube and two. So you generated artifacts, okay, and publishing. Okay, so we generated artifact and we need to publish. Okay, till now we have generated artifact. Let's go to CD pipeline. CD pipeline. So it will download the generated artifact from CI pipeline and it will establish the dev server SSH service connection and it will be deploying your application to corresponding servers. Okay, you have you have dev server, you have QA servers. Okay, and let's see how it will be do. Okay, so this will help us to. This is the my pipeline name is build. Okay, so this will be helping. It will be triggering once the CI pipeline will be build success. Okay, yeah. Now come to deploy. So this deploy having a multiple stages. You need to deploy to dev, you need to deploy to QA, so you need to deploy to prod. Okay. So let's discuss about each one. Now come to deploy to dev. Okay. So once the CI will be generated the artifacts, so the CD it will be downloading the artifacts from CI pipeline. Okay. This is the CI pipeline. From there, this is the artifact. It's downloading. This task will be downloading. Okay. So after that, this will be help to establish a service connection. Okay. See, this is the dev service connection. Okay. This will establish a service connection, and this will be creating some files. Okay. So once the SSH is completed, it will create some pre-request folders. It will creating. That is var www dash deploy. Okay, this is creating, and it will be changing the ownership. Okay, yeah. So task 2 is completed. Task 3. So now we need to publish the artifacts to your server. Okay, so this command help us to download your artifacts, and it is unzipping, and it will be deploying to your server with the help of a SSH. Okay, see, so this is the Dev server SSH service connection, and this is the this is the source file where you have downloaded your CI artifacts. Okay, the content is tar files, and target is this file. Okay, so you already created this file in the first step only, where it will establish the SSH, and it will perform this task. Okay, so this will created a deploy folder. Okay, so this will be copying your tar file to copying, and it will be creating. Okay, it will be deploying that for that artifacts. Okay, so overall, so this will be downloading your artifacts, and it will be placing in your servers at this specific location, target location. Okay, this tar file it will located in this target folder. Okay, so now your artifact is deployed in the server. Okay, so these all tasks are split into multiple tasks. So it is not easy to perform at a single task. Okay, I split it. So first of all we are downloading artifacts. After that we are creating some folders. After that you are creating the downloaded artifacts to that folder, and after that, so this will be help us to restart your application. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, establishing a service connection, you are using a dev SSH service connection. So after that, it will passing these commands. Okay, this will be removing this folder, and this will be restarting, recreating the front end. Okay, so this will be, yeah, this will be unzipping your tar file. Okay, at this specific location. Okay, so in the tar file you have multiple. So one is front end, and another one is back end. Okay, we have both front end and back end. So these both files will be deploying in separate folder. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we are removing the backend folder. Okay, we are again creating, and we are unzipping this one. Okay, so var.ww.frontend. Here we are having the two tar files. What is front end, and another one is back end. Okay, with this step unzipping and placing in www dot var.ww slash front end. Okay, back end we are same step we are performing, the location is var.www.backend. Okay. So once the application is deployed in the specific location, so we need to start the backend and front end. Okay. So this command will be help us to restart the services. Okay. Okay. After that, so this service will be helpful to reconfigure, and this step will be reload and mean restart your Nginx application. Okay. So like this, both application will be up and running. Okay. Let me explain that clearly. So in this step, so our front end and back end tar files will be deployed in this specific location var.www.deploy. Okay. So after that, you are unzipping this deploy folder into two ways. Okay. One is under that we have two folders, front end and back end, two tar files. So you are unzipping the two tar file with separate folder names. Okay. So front end and back end. Okay. After that, you are starting that service. With the help of this command, we will be starting the backend. So we are changing the directory and we are restarting that application. Okay. With the help of this command and this commanding, so we will be starting the Nginx front end application. Okay. Yeah. So actually front-end application is already deployed in Nginx. We already done a one-time setup. So that so Nginx will be acted as a reverse proxy. Okay. It won't require to go to a specific location and restart. Okay. So just restart the Nginx. We have already run this application as a service startup. Okay. Yeah. With this we have completed the dev deployment. Okay. Same thing we need to do for QA and prod. Okay, let's see that one also. The same task we need to perform. So deploy to QA depends on dev. So once the dev is completed, then only it will be deployed to QA. Okay. So here we added approvals. That means in the earlier I shown you. So when a change is detected, so it will try to trigger, but without approval it won't trigger. Okay. So you need to allow. You need to approve or you need to reject it. Okay. So after that it will be following these steps. It will downloading CI by artifacts. So it will creating some files. After that it will be copying that your CI artifacts to this specific location with the help of SSH dev service connection. Okay, this is QA service connection. After that, you need to unzip that both front end and back end. So back end should be start with the help of this command, and front end should be loaded with the help of Nginx. Okay. So like this, QA application will be up and running. Okay, same thing we need to do for prod. Okay. So here also prod environment you need to approve. Once approved, so it will be deploying in the prod also. Yeah, same task we need to perform. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to CI pipeline. Just refresh this thing. Sometimes the Azure develop will be very slow. So you just refresh that time. Okay. Click home. So go to build. So already clicked. So here you can see. So code quality and build artifact. So click the code quality. Node.js npm. So this will be building your application. Okay. So it will be downloading all required dependency packages. Okay. So these will be integrated your SonarQube project. Okay. So you can see all the things. So scanning the configurations, prior root configurations, SonarQube scanner, Java. These all are information. Okay. So project key. This is loading quality gate profile. Since I don't have quality gate profile, it is empty. Auto configuration with the CA. Sonar login is depreciated. Okay. 46 file indexed. Sonar way. Don't have sonar.coverage.json reports. Okay. If you require, you can integrate that one also. 11 source files have been analyzed. Okay. So 3 source files are being analyzed. CSS matrix, TypeScript. Okay. This is sonar.test is not set to improve accuracy. You need to do that one. The file starts with test contain. Okay. That is all our information. The 22/22 files have been analyzed. So run sensation on project. Okay. So here we go. Seeing blame information for following files. So this will cover all the files provided in your frontend and backend and IAC folder. This led to missing breakpoint feature in your okay. So analyzing, you can find the result at a specific location. Okay. Yeah, this is how SonarQube is integrated with your CI/CD pipeline. Okay. So SonarQube. So this code quality will be integrated with SonarQube. So now come to build artifacts. Okay. So this will build your application package artifact. This will build your application both front end and back end. So publishing. So this will publish your application as a artifacts app.artifact. Okay. Okay. So now come here. So click the build. Here you can see the option called download option one artifact. Click that one. So this is the artifact. It is generated two artifacts frontend.tar, backend.tar. Okay. In the CD deployment, I already told you, right? So this will be generating two. So frontend, backend. Okay. This is the same you are using. So this will be downloading your artifacts, and this will create a specific folder, and this will establish connection and cut and deploy your code to this specific location. So uh, this will create a front end and back end folders, and this will unzipping your file and later. So this will start your applications. So backend will be starting with this, front end will be starting with next Nginx. Okay. Yeah. So now build is completed. Now come to deploy. So now we have deploy to dev, deploy to QA, deploy to prod. So deploy to prod is failed. Why? Because I rejected that one. So I rejected the approval so that it is failing. Okay. Right. Okay. Now go to this one. Job is pending. Okay. Since I have rejected, go again. Okay. Environmentals. Dev QA. Okay. Fine. So click deploy to dev. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Downloading. Okay. So downloading artifacts to CI pipeline. Okay. Okay. This downloaded two artifacts that will containing frontend.tar and backend.tar. Okay. Okay. This command will be creating a folder. Okay. This will be do SSH connection, and this will create this for two files, two folders. not two, one folder only. You will creating a one folder and it will generating a permissions. Okay. So after that, so this is copying to your remote location. Okay. So you have front end and back end, right? That will be copying to this deploy folder. Okay. Next, deploy and restart the application. Okay. So this will unzipping your for your tar file to this front end and this is back end. This is unzipping. After that, so this will be starting your application. So like this, your job will be up and running. Front back end is up and running. After that, for front end, so you need to pass this command so that you will get like this. Syntax is okay, test is success. So that your application will be load, your application will be reloading and deploying. So, so it is deployed in dev and restart. Your application will be up and running. So now dev deployment is completed. Now come to QA deploy. The same process, same steps you need to follow for QA also. So it will be downloading your artifacts. So it will be creating a separate folder in the server with the help of SSH connection. After that, it will copying your artifacts to your dev server. So after that, so it will be moved to your corresponding folder and it will be restarting your applications. Okay, your both application will be up and running. Okay, so with this your CI CD pipelines will be completed. So next, so we will test end to end. Okay, and after that we will see the cleanup pipeline. So let's see the end-to-end deployment. Okay. So 6 application deployment and integration. So once infra pipeline is completed, we need to verify all the resources. Okay. So after that, with the help of the CI/CD pipeline, so you need to deploy the front end and back end application to your dev server and QA server and pod server. Okay. So we already done one-time setup for Nginx and front end and back end application. So now all the things are completed. So let's do end-to-end testing for your portal in the browser. Okay, let's do. Okay, let's make a change to your code and let's see. Go to your portal. This is the front end portal. So refresh the portal. Okay, so click Python. Okay, okay, here is Python. You can click apply. So it will open in separate portal, or else you can click Java. So we have to apply. So we have Java developer. Click that one also. And React. You can React. Yeah. Click that one also. Okay. So these are the dummy URLs I have given. Okay. Close that. You can click and open that portals like this. Okay. So now, so let's make a change to our application. Okay. So Java job search portal new. Okay. So let's make a change to our code and we will do how the application will be building and how it is deploying. Okay, what we need to change here? We have job search portal new, right? So let's remove the new and make a change and uncommitted. Okay, so that application will be triggered automatically and it will be deploying. So go to front end, go to src, go to app.js. Yeah, it is loading. Somewhere you will find a job search. Okay, control plus fine. Yeah, here we have. So job search new you have. Okay, I'm removing the new. Okay, I'm just saving. Okay, so git will be auto triggering. So detect the changes and showing the showing the changes. Okay, let's do commit and push the changes to repository. Let's see. So I'm pushing the changes to repository. Let's wait for our application. So here, so we have dev and we have QA and we have prod, right? So go and copy the QA and both IP addresses. So this is the public IP of dev. Okay, already open. So go to QA. Mm, copy public IP over here. Click. Yeah, here we go. So this is dev. This is QA. Okay. So let's go to pipelines. Okay. So build is auto triggered based upon my configurations. I have triggered when a change is detected, it will be triggering. Okay. Now infra pipeline. Okay. Now build pipeline will be triggering automatically. Go and check the code, check the logs, generating the steps. Okay. Build steps. So it having the two tasks. One is SonarQube integration, and the other one is generating the build artifacts. Okay. Okay. So this will take some time. Let's review this one. Let's check the logs. So npm. So this will be install the all the required components. Okay. Let's go to the build pipeline and check. Yeah. This task will be installing all the required dependent packages. Okay. It will change npm install, npm install. So this will be downloading all required package, all required node modules. Okay. So the same the task is performing. Okay. So added one 1410 packages. Okay. The package is installed. So now go to SonarQube integration. Okay. Let's go to SonarQube. Quality gate. Last analysis 2 hours before. Okay. So open issues 75 main. Open issues 169. One open issue. Security one open issue. Restricted IP address authorized to access administrators. Okay. Restricted IP address authorized to access administrator servers. Okay. Where is this? Why is this? Okay. How can I fix activities? Okay. Like this, you need to check the issues. Go to build. Okay. So build is completed. One stage is completed. Now code quality is completed. Now come to build artifact. Okay. Packaging your artifact. So we need to fix all these issues. First of all, we need to create a SonarQube quality gate, and we need to create a quality profile, and we need to add some parameters, code measure parameters you need to give, and you need to so your application should generate the test plans. Okay, code coverage also it will be generated, so that you can see this percentage it will be increasing. Okay, let's see the status of the file. So code is building now, creating optimizer production build. Let's wait for some while to build this application. Yeah. So see, so packages are the artifacts. Okay. So build is success. You're publishing these artifacts. Okay. So this will be publishing artifacts as a app artifacts. Okay. So let's see. So whether the deploy pipeline is auto triggered or not. So now the deploy package is triggered. Okay. Okay. It is downloaded. This is downloaded your artifacts. Okay. You have front end and we have backend. Okay. So with this, we will be creating a deploy folder. Okay. With this, you will be copying your corresponding front end and backend to your uh, your folders. Okay. So deploy. So deploy is completed. So trying to establish the SSH connection, and this will be unzipping your front end. This will be unzipping your backend. Okay. So after unzipping, so this command will be starting your backend application. Okay, backend application is up and running. So after that, you are loading the Nginx. Okay, you already done one-time setup for your front end. So front end will be acting as a reverse proxy application. So backend will be configured from Nginx only. Okay, so now the front end is now the we deploy to dev. Now we deploy to dev. So let's come to dev. Let's deploy to QA. So go and click here. So you need to check whether the QA is triggered or not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So once go to page is too slow. Yeah. So now it is deployed to QA. So QA is success. Wait. So based upon configuration, once the dev is completed, now deploy to QA. So the same process it was downloaded the QA. So it should create some folders. So it is getting slow. Yeah. So with the help of SSX service connection, you need to create a folder. After that, it will be copying to the specific directory. After that, once you are unzipping, you need to start your application. So both application will be starting. So now dev is completed, QA is completed. So why prod is not started yet? So let's see. So click deploy. Go here. So QA. So one approval needs to review before this run. Can continue to deploy to prod. Okay, let's review. Okay, approval. Checking and manual validation for deploying to prod. So timeout in 29 days. So approval. So environment prod. So waiting for approval. We can get the emails for approvals. Okay, so here also you can click the approval or else you can reject. Okay, defer approval, approval and rejected. So what should I need to click? Whether I need to approve to deploy in prod or I need to reject. Okay, what should I do? So let's wait for, you will send a Gmail for approvals. Okay, so it will be sent to my corresponding approvals, corresponding emails. So from there also you can click approval, from here also you can click approval or you can reject. So simply I am clicking rejected. Why? Because I didn't have prod servers. So while creating, so I created a front end and I created a dev1 QA only. So prod server is not created due to insufficient quota. Okay, so since I'm using a free Terraform account, so it is not allowed to create prod. So now at this time I'm rejecting. So if you click approve means if you have already made SSH connection established, so that application will be deployed. So same as like dev1 QA. Okay, so I'm rejecting. Okay, job is pending state. Okay, so like this it will be failing. Okay, now so we have completed deployment. Okay, dev completed and QA completed. So let's cross verify. So this is the portal that we have deployed. So just refresh this one. At the same time you refresh QA also. Okay, that's right. So here we go. Okay, job search portal. Okay, so earlier it will be like new. Now you are not able to see the new. Okay, only job search portal only you are able to see. So with this you are confirmed that, so build and deployment in multiple environments, dev and QA and prod. Okay, so we will try to search something. Okay, so Java developer, front end, full stack developer. Okay, so this data will be coming from backend only, not from front end. Okay, so here we go, job search portal. This is the QA. So you can see the IP address is also same for the each one. Okay, you can search Java. Okay, backend data is loading successfully. Java developer, full stack developer. Okay, so with this we will confirm that, so applications are running as expected. So if you have any doubts, just cross check. Go to server, see. So job list. Company A, Java developer, Java, company and salary. Company B, company C, company D. Okay, all I have listed in the from backend only. Okay, if any application is not working, whether front end or backend, so you can't get the data. Okay, if backend is not working, you can't get this data. If front end is not working, even front end, so you can't get this data. Okay, so till now we have completed the end-to-end testing also. Okay, end-to-end testing also. Let's go to, so cleanup. So monitoring. So monitoring and observability. We can able to check the all the log monitoring here itself. In the VM also we have the VM also. You need to configure application insights or directly logs also you have. You can check there. Okay, go here. Direct logs sir, you can configure and you can check here. Okay, so right now I using a only minimal steps, so that I didn't configure. Okay, so clean up. So you need to clean up all the resources. Okay, create new pipeline. Go to your job hunt. Exit. Click that one. So loading, so it is loading. So here see while creating the pipeline, there are several type of applications is there. So this is Node.js. This is Node.js Express Web App to Linux on Azure. Okay. So Node.js with Vue. So Node.js with Webpack. Node.js with React. Node.js with React Web App to Linux on Azure. Okay. Node.js with Angular. Starter pipeline existing. Okay. .NET Desktop, Android. There are many pipelines that deploy to Azure, Azure Kubernetes Services, Go, Docker, Gradle, Maven, Node.js function apps to Linux. Like this, there is many packages there. Okay, I will use existing one. Yeah, clean up. Click continue. Click run. Okay. Okay. This will destroy all your resources. Okay. So go your resource groups. Okay. So this will delete all the resource groups. Okay. Dev, prod, and QA. Hey, oh my God! I created two pipelines. Okay. So using this backend analyze the backend also. Okay. Now the Dev desktop is started. So initializing the backend. Rename. Okay. Okay. Like this, it will be destroying all the resources. Okay. Yeah. Started deleting all the resources. This will take some time to delete. Okay. It started to destroying resources. Here you can see. So Dev is destroyed. So Dev is completed. So all resources under the Dev resource group will be deleting. Okay, load this page. Okay. So all resources is destroyed. Okay. You can see even resource group also destroyed. Let's verify there. So job portal Dev we have. So refresh that one. Yeah, here we go. So we don't have the Dev portal. Okay. So only prod and QA we have. Okay. So like this QA and prod will be deleting. Okay. So with this we have completed our complete project. Okay. Okay. So let's recap. So we have developed the front-end application and back-end application. Okay. We have written the Terraform code. We have learned how to create. So we have learned how to create the front-end CI pipeline and CD pipeline. So we have learned the services about virtual machine and VNet. So we have done a Sonar setup and Nginx configuration and Express JS configuration. Okay. So see you on next project. So it's signing off your Prasanna Kumar, DevOps Technologies.